Alright, what we're going to do is this. This is what I hate seeing. I hate seeing so many individuals. Let me ask you a question. How do you think it's normal to wake up every day and to have so many emotions towards another group? Because we're right. And I'm not saying, we're looking at this outside of what you see. There's always the surface. What y'all see is that Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter about what color this is. Blue and red does. But you always have to look beyond the surface. So what we're going to do real quick, before we go any further. Okay, let's think about how many things are blue and red. Okay, the Bloods and the Crips. Okay, hot water, cold water. That's blue and red. What else? Domino's, Pepsi. Okay? Now listen, what else is? Your pineal and your pituitary gland. That's what y'all don't know anything about, because it's going to be positive and negative in your brain. See, the surface of your careers in the medical industry is, on the surface, y'all are doing so good, making strides. Although you can't see, the environment is what's giving you your career. When people don't know who they are, never even given anything, I need to go get my scrapbook. It just says, this is Earth. It's round. It looks like an orange. Next page, let's go on. There's the Civil War. That's it. Oh, here we got space. We're going to roll the TV in. Oh, Challenger blew up. People, listen. That's how quick what's coming through me can get off course. But you have to understand something. You're a battery. Okay? And what evil people have done is they've looked at us, God's creation, and learned how to create things based off of us. And then lie to us in term, in long run, and then use us for energy, which is a whole nother video. But I hate seeing people against each other, the best people in the world. And it's like, for one, you have to identify that you are not made of that. That was never meant for you at all. At all. And your connection in there to TV is beyond an alcoholic's connection. And in your world right now, you're going to justify it. I can already tell you that. And I hope a lot of y'all have money, because your money is a trick. See, that's the trick in this machine. Okay? It's a big machine. And once you can understand that this thing has been set up to always create division. Is to always create division. Then you'll start to see, what they're doing. But let's go beyond this. Through my studies, the Democratic group, we're going to say, represented the exoteric. The Republican represented the eso. This is hidden. This is open. This means knowledge. They wanted this name is a spawn of this. This is a spawn of that. And this comes out of Europe, which is a whole nother video. This is hidden and this is open. This is the surface. This just like what they're doing right now through that shit to everybody. It's insane. It's like, so you don't like Trump, but yet your grandchildren and children are going to come home and tell you that they're not a boy or a girl. And they can take puberty blockers and get anal sex anytime they want, and fuck you. And in your pride, listen to this, all because you've been watching CNN or some other shit, which are dumb shit. Listen, if you can get out of it, you'll see it. It's for really fucking stupid people. And when I say that, it makes you mad. But see, at one point in time, the esoteric, the elders with the knowledge, knew that in the wrong hands, it's going to be bad. Well, here comes the, hey, we're knocking on the door. We're just wanting a little bit. And then slowly over time, some knowledge gets here and there. Socrates, they didn't want him teaching knowledge, certain knowledge. So he had to drink the hemlock. So, long time ago, they tried to keep it real. We'll say that. And then this group comes along and then wants everybody to know. Because they want it. You don't understand what we're telling you of the world that you have never known about. And then slowly this machine that's been doing this for a very long time, it's the same groups in each country. It's just different names. That's it. It's the same governments. It's the same courtrooms. It's the same hospitals, the same sodas. It's the same Walmarts, the same McDonald's. See what I mean? It's all one already. But see, this is the whole thing. There's this thing called a brotherhood. And we'll just call it that. Okay? Now, this is really going to blow your mind. I don't want to stay on that too much. All that has to do with the anatomy. Every bit of it. Every bit of what we consume has to do with destroying that. Okay? Now look, the same way that I have my, that was very vague too, what I went over with that. Very vague. And all it is, the eagle is what we represent right in America. Okay, it's got a left and a right what? Wing. Yeah, and one brain. That's what we're saying. And then the families, that brotherhood that I was talking about, whatever it is, they're behind underneath the eagle, the on the dollar bill and all that shit. Those feathers represent the families, the brotherhood, whatever, guiding this phoenix in whatever direction they want to go, and they do, and that's all it has to do with. And all the characters you see are nothing more than characters. That's it. It is insane. But listen, some of y'all that are like, he's crazy. All right, look, your history is not real. Okay? Now, let me tell you right quick. The maritime course, we're going to say between what you know is USA now and Europe, in that area, was cut off. We're just going to say from the 1200s to 1450. We'll say that. This brotherhood, this maritime law machine of slavery, of real, like, worldwide slavery over a planisphere, that has been doing this for a long time. Okay, why would you do that? Let's say this is the sea. Okay, so here's Europe. And here's what you know is America. Okay, so Europe's over here. All right, so this huge, it's too big for you. What they did is they enslaved this land. Okay, they put a spiritual wall around this land. Instead of controlling the people, you just control what comes in and out. So within this land, these maritime routes that had been there, and that you don't know anything about, your world's not real, that had been there, they just cut those routes that controlled the world. And then this mindset grew for a long time of not knowing anything's over there. Because you get to where we are now, to materialism. But listen, check this out. And so, through religion, think about the generations of lies that went on inside there. And then when 1492, Christopher Columbus discovers America. I think that's when it was. To rediscover it. And see, we've already told y'all about melted structure and buildings and everything, and you just won't look. It's this being that's in you that cannot conquer death. God's punishment to this being is it cannot conquer death, but it can control you. The same way that Satan had his time with Job. You see, y'all don't even know that. So it's like, okay, so what we're doing is talking to Christians and godly people, it doesn't matter, Catholicism too, and Torah, all that. You don't know anything about the book that you actually represent. And remember, everything up in here goes with us when we travel to the other side, when this cavity ceases to exist. You're a battery. You're just transferring the memory, the subconscious. The emotions and all that come to life. Your emotional status and your obsession with materialism will be dealt with on the other side. Should make sense that they're going to cut this land off. Eventually they're going to make that land the number one land that all the other lands want to flock to. Okay, in order to create materialism instead of we're created to look up. And remember, not one of y'all against me will fucking look up. You won't listen, not nothing. So here comes generational programming conditioning for a long time. So this land has been sitting on purpose. Cut off routes in time only to rediscover it. And then here comes what? The gold rush. See, the gold is used for the free magnetic field, power, energy, and all that, along with silver, albumen, and all that. You're made of that. It's inside of you as well. We're not going to teach that ever. You see what I'm saying? So now we're going over here. Oh, look, there's gold, because it was absolutely everywhere. And they melted it and blew it up and everything. Like we've told you. It wasn't they found it. It was like Egypt. But just everything. God's people, we were badass. We're not just... it's crazy. They say the first nurse is the one who's... what's her name? I can't remember right now. The first nurse... yeah, she's the one who helped people be sanitized, learn sanitation and how to take care of themselves. Listen, we've been on this earth for a long time. I think we're doing just fine. But yet, if you want to accept on a pad, who's the first nurse? You're stupid as shit. See, if we go back that far, listen, they graded this land just like you would have in the neighborhood. Okay? They graded it and sat back and said, okay, we're going to chill for a little while and live off the goy. And that's what they've done. So, oh, and there was some heavy sorcery coming too, and it got real rampant in the church. So I had a hand that they had to fix that shit. Because they were killing witches, which were not witches. They are the sorcerers and the seers and shit that use this knowledge in a very bad connotation, very bad way. Because see, then you get into this. See, what they don't teach you is this in the churches is here's the earth's plane. All right, here's heaven. Okay? This is the ether. Most of y'all have never heard of that. In the air, there's water. Water in the air. Cut it off. What would you do? What would happen to fish if they... see, if water's here, the fish are in there. They look at us and all those creatures in the water. We're in water too. You just don't know that. You've never been taught that. How do you even breathe? What makes you run? That's how ignorant that we are. But when we die, this is the earth sphere right here. Okay? If Jesus Christ is your thing, when you die, you're going to be right here. All right? And this is all the world that Jesus says, do not conform to the world. Don't do it. Don't get so attached to your possessions. Because you take that attachment with you. Okay? So, in Never Ending Story, no, which one of those movies is it where the girl walks in and she's like, oh, this is my old room when I was a child. And then here comes all those other little beings and they're like, oh, yeah. And they start giving her all her old toys, trying to trap her there to her possessions. Some of y'all are like, I remember that. It's like, I can't remember the name of the movie. Leave it in the comments. But that's a hint. Christ will be right above your head. And see, the thing is, if this is your brain, did you build your brain through your eyes and ears with enough ammunition to go to the other side? Did you pay attention to nature? Did you allow your eyes to focus on long distance objects like mountain ranges and stuff for hundreds of miles? Nope. You can get binoculars and cameras. No, nothing. None of that. Everything in there has been developed underneath the ether, underneath what is literally above your head. You don't understand what we're saying to you. Okay? You're going to be stuck down here. I'm going to be real cool. You're going to be stuck down here with that nonsense, looking up. Yeah, and the ones that ascend without you, you'll see their little strand, sort of like DNA, but it'll be like that. It'll be different, beautiful colors, though. Colors you've never seen here. You know what I mean? And you just don't know. Some of us can see things. God gives us the vision, gives us what we need to be telling the people. But yet the people have a satanic mindset because of a lifetime and generations and centuries of creating slave environments and then taking notes and then doing this and this and this and harnessing souls. An obeying spirit that's very compliant, which is Ahriman. Get into Ahriman. This is, if you can't listen and you can't look up, this is who you've got in you right here. That right there. That being comes into you whenever you are getting ready to baby. We got to give them shots and everything. Those numbers and all those chemicals is Ahriman. Ahriman's job is to destroy the anatomy through chemicals, toxins, and poisons and then turn it into dis-ease. That is Ahriman, is disease. C-A-N-C-E-R. And we keep screaming, cells is what you're made of. They're making a battery now called alkaline. It's freaking crazy. Just look at it in the store. That's you. That's your pineal and pituitary gland right there in a damn thing for sale. I need this to keep running my damn shavers to shave my balls because I keep hearing the commercial over and over. I'm getting, bacteria down there. You're a fucking dummy. Go on. Get out of here. That's an Ahriman spirit. And that spirit, that being, leaves you right before your cavity ceases to exist from a lifetime of poisoning it. That's the demon that God allows in your life. Because for one, ain't nobody stood up and said, we need to quit sticking these fucking babies. Every woman that has a baby, whether it be a C-section or anything, that room should be compatible to the baby never leaving the fucking room like a piece of cargo. And let's go shove them in there with the rest of them. They make enough money, but y'all in your world, in this world, he is crazy. He is crazy. TV is us. Hey, yeah. I'm a lion. I think I'm going to cut my dick off. You're an Ahriman spirit. There's a whole lot in there for your little brain to process. Okay? And I want you to do it because you ain't got no other choice. I love you.